Welcome to video number 4. In this specific video, we're going to be covering content creation strategy number 1. And this specific strategy focuses on lists of similar content, similar websites, and things like that. So let's go ahead and jump right in. Okay, so before I explain this strategy in detail, I want to give you some examples. If you were to go to Google and you were to type in something like top WordPress themes, you will notice that there are blogs out there that say something like the top 40 best free WordPress themes, or the top 30 or top 10 or top fastest WordPress themes. And as you know, when you go to these sites, you will see a list of 40 themes, generally pointing to other websites containing these themes. And then around it, it would have their own response, their own reaction to it. And at the bottom of that, sometimes they'll say, well, if you would like, a theme that's related to this theme that maybe all of these don't really have, but maybe you compare them and you show them what they have and what they don't have, and you have a theme that actually has an advantage over these themes, then you can use this as a means to promote your theme. Now, obviously, people have to make their own decision whether they want to go with the top 40 or what other theme. So you kind of get the idea here is to provide something like the top X end results. So I want to show you the formula right now before I actually dive in and give you a lot more detail. So I wrote up the formula in a notepad, and as you can see, your goal here with this strategy is to show people the top X end results. So the end result must be something that people want in the end, or it's an end result that fixes somebody's problem. So your end result is going to be something like your product or service solution. So I gave you some details in the past about this, but you could use this method to say something like the top 10 security cameras, or the top 10 physical items or intangible items or even problems. So one thing you could do, let's say for example that you're an artist and you are somebody who is creating tutorials on how to paint a canvas. So if that's the case, then since you're providing a product or a video training course, you want to show people different end results of what can happen when you paint a canvas. So you need to choose maybe top 10 things that people really want to know in terms of how to, what the end result of painting a canvas looks like. So that would be that. You could find the top 10 websites that talk about this, and then at the very end, when people want that end result, eventually they're going to want to know how to do it, or they're going to want to have some sort of solution. So that's why this is so powerful, is you're able to go out there and find lists or websites that are similar. And the way you do this is you look for sites called social bookmarking sites. Now, I purposely go to Google and type in social bookmarking sites because a lot of social bookmarking sites come and go. So even if you were watching this video 5 years down the road or even 10 years down the road, it would still apply to you, because all you need to do is find social bookmarking sites or sites that have lists of similar related links. Now, the reason why I say social bookmarking to start out with is because if you're not familiar with social bookmarking, what these sites are is, let's say for example you're a math teacher. If you're a math teacher and you find 10 websites that deal with maybe algebra, whatever you're teaching, and then you have another algebra teacher in a different country that finds 5 other websites that deal with that very specific need. Guess what? You have a combination of 15 sites that are very, very similar. Now, as a content curator, that is why it is a beauty, because you can come along and you can utilize these sites and these lists that are similar. And then you can take these and say, okay, these top 10 results or top 50 end results or top 50 websites that contain these end results. And then essentially what you're doing is you're utilizing these end results. You can comment on them. You can have your own commentary, reaction, response, agreement, disagreement, or controversial statements in relation to these sites. And then at the very end, you can use this to say, all right, so you've learned how to help your students as a math teacher or algebra teacher. If you'd like to join my site, you're going to get done for you templates that you can use right away for your teaching. So as you can see, the solutions are limitless. You can really get creative with this and go all out. So social bookmarking sites like Reddit are good. StumbleUpon are good. Pinterest is also good as well because Pinterest shows a lot of images, and you have people who create boards, and the boards are very similar. So you're actually able to see the similarities in those niches, similar items, similar websites that are related to each other because of that common bond of what you're looking for. You can also look for YouTube playlists. You can go to Amazon and look for Listmania lists to find physical products that might have a lot in common. Let's say, for example, that you're trying to sell a massager, a review of a massager, or maybe you have a massager as a product and you want to sell that, but you want to compare what's out there. So you go on Listmania and you find, as you can see, different massagers that you can compare with each other. Then you have books. You can go to Google and type in Listopia for Goodreads Listopia books. And these are basically lists of books that are very similar. So if I were to click on this, you can actually see that there's a lot of different lists categorized in different sections. So I can go through here and let's say, for example, I'm trying to sell a book. I can find something similar and I could create a blog that compares maybe the top 10 fiction, fantasy, young adult books. And then it happens that one of those books is my book. So that's another great way to use a strategy to promote your own material. So as you can see, it's actually very simple. It's really about finding lists of content that is very similar to yours or is in the end results. So if you can do this, end results, make sure that people want the end results, and the end results leads to your product and service solution. So that's how powerful this strategy is, but as you can see, it's actually very, very simple, and you can do this over and over again, recycle this method, and use it to your advantage.